yeah, bring on Extraction 3! I am ready, baby, and so is this franchise. All that remains is for you to watch this movie so we can get the third entry that is so brilliantly teased at the end. Oh, this movie is so good! I knew it would be good, not only because I liked the first movie, but the trailers for this looked excellent, but it was even better than I had anticipated. What a step up from the first film. Now, on that note, we can all agree that Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves, the John Wick duo, have changed the game when it comes to action movies. But Sam Hargrave and Chris Hemsworth, whew, they are very good students, and they are catching up quickly. I don't think they're totally right at the same level, but they are so freaking close. And they are able to differentiate their work enough from John Wick so that Extraction, while definitely cut from the same cloth, still manages to be its own thing. Oh, we love friendly competition. It keeps both. It keeps everybody at the top of their game. Any other action franchises want to get in on this? I would love to see it. Although, I think these are the top action franchises going right now. While John Wick has the elegance and fantasy of the high table, Extraction is about soldiers of fortune and the realities that entails. They're both global adventures, but instead of exotic, here the world seems smaller and familiar, as these soldiers are of fortune, they know honor but no borders. And so the entire world is there as a resource for them, of not just assets, but friends. Aww! Which is refreshing, because while Hollywood still to this day loves to use third world filters, in fact, the first Extraction did and caught some flack for it, rightfully so, here, the sequel makes up for that, showing that America might be a superpower still, but the world no longer revolves around it. For instance, the top-notch medical care available in Dubai is highlighted quite nicely at the beginning of the film. Also, here Hemsworth's team consists of brother-sister duo back from the first movie, Nick and Yaz, played once again by Iranian-French actress Golshifteh Farahani, she is Mystique, and French-Tunisian actor Adam Bessa. Their bond is one of the nicest things about this sequel. I mean, I think I don't know if they showed as strong a bond in the first film. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I only remember Golshifteh Farahani because she was so cool. But here, I was like, I'm loving their friendship, their bond as siblings. Now let's talk about Hargrave and Hemsworth. What they accomplish here is incredible. Like Stahelski and Reeves, they do highly choreographed fight scenes with the big star right in the middle of the mix doing all of their own stunts. Obviously, Stahelski and Reeves just raised the bar even higher with John Wick 4. And while Extraction 2 does not have that same artistry, it makes up for it with the long take. The glorious long take. Now, sure, a lot of action directors love the long take. It's kind of become something that everybody wants to do their own take on. And of course, Daredevil is famous for long take hallway fights and stuff like that. But that's okay. Hargrave and Hemsworth can handle the competition. These are the longest and most impressive long takes that I have ever seen in any medium. They just keep going and going and going, and they are beautifully and inventively choreographed. Oh, you gotta see them. You gotta see them. And unlike some of 87 North's recent, this is not 87 North, this is the Russo brothers, doing their best 87 North impression, and it's a good one. But 87 North, those guys have made some John Wick, non-John Wick-esque, but John Wick adjacent movies. But those movies look cheap and like a stunt show. But here, these are extremely well shot with fantastic locations. They're very cinematic, which I appreciated. Another difference between Extraction 2 and John Wick 4 is that while John Wick seems impervious to injury, he even wears a bulletproof suit and has taken some huge falls and walked away, here there is genuine danger to our character. Couple that with some brutal violence. Oh, it was beautiful, some of it. I was like, wow. I gasped and shouted out loud several times while watching this movie. In delight, I was like, ooh, or hot damn, or, oh, that's gotta hurt, or oh my God, I hope he's not dead. And on that note, another movie Extraction 2 reminds me of is The Raid 2. Similarly slick, yet still very gritty production. I think The Raid 2 is also a good comparison. And that's as high praise as John Wick 4. Have you not seen The Raid 2? What's wrong with you? All right, but also like John Wick, Especially with the long takes, Extraction 2 feels very much like a video game, as we follow Hemsworth down long labyrinths with simple tasks to accomplish, often against faceless enemies. In some ways, it even feels more like a video game than John Wick, as Hargrave keeps upping the ante of what's thrown at Hemsworth like a video game will do, and changing locations. For instance, there's one transition to a train that was particularly thrilling and surprising. I think it's also where they hid the cut for the long take. You know that game. If you watch Hitchcock's Rope, and you can kind of, if you're really good at it and you have experience and you know what you're looking for, you can see where they would cut the film to make it seamless. But they need to have that solid frame to do that. It was great. It felt very much like a video game or a ride. I was like, that is slick. Hemsworth is fantastic here. It's hard for a Marvel actor outside the MCU, and that's been true for Hemsworth. But thankfully, he got this franchise, and his Tyler Rake is becoming as much a defining character for him as Thor. And that's all thanks to the work that Hemsworth puts into these movies. This is no gimme. He learns and is able to execute these incredible long takes and action sequences. He also gives Rake heart, making him very human, and even though he no longer fights for a country, he's still not only a professional, I love watching him work, but he also still has honor, kindness, and compassion. I'm so glad Golshifteh Farahani is back, and with her haircut and strong features, she just is Mystique from the comics. It's amazing. I'm sure it's hard to compete with Hemsworth in these action sequences and long takes, but she manages to hold her own. Adam Bessa as her brother also holds his own, to a little bit of a lesser degree. His role is smaller, but it's overall an impressive team, and Bessa offers some comedic relief. Idris Elba is here, oh yeah! And while his role is small, it's pretty small, he is worth every penny of what they paid for him, especially when they tease he might be more involved in a third film. Again, yes please. The rest of the cast does a very good job, and also unlike 87 North's other small films, they don't just seem like stunt people, they seem like actors who can do stunts. Although I did recognize Daniel Bernhardt, actor, martial artist, and frequent fight coordinator for 87 North's smaller productions. I was like, I know that guy. There are some people that Hemsworth needs to extract, and they all do a very good job as well. But since the trailers haven't given a lot away about the story, and there isn't a lot of story, I don't want to give anything else away either. But everybody here did a great job. Sam Hargrave, let's go behind the camera. Himself, like Chad Stahelski, a stunt person. Chad Stahelski did The Matrix, Sam Hargrave, Captain America, both turned directors. Hargrave is, as I said, getting really, really good. He has a small cameo here, by the way, just like he did in the first movie. He's playing a different character. This one's very small. You have to really know Sam Hargrave. Look for the beard. I wonder if you'll be able to spot him. Not only are his action sequences extremely well choreographed on multiple levels, from the fighters to the extras to the location to additions, add-ins like fire, helicopters, etc., but the camera work, I often was like, how did they get that shot? That's incredible. Part of me feels they used drones. I wouldn't be surprised. And I thought that maybe some of the train sequence might have been green screen, but I can't totally tell, which is awesome. They kept me in the movie. It was great. But I was just amazed where Hargrave was able to take his camera. And of course, the Russo brothers are involved here, as I said, themselves struggling a little bit as well post-Marvel, or maybe that's a lot. They basically have this franchise and Everything Everywhere All at Once, to be fair, which they produced. They produced this film, and Joe Russo wrote the script just like he did for the first movie, which is very bare bones, really just setting up multiple action sequences, and smart enough not to get overly complicated, and has just enough heart to keep you invested. In fact, some of the revelations about Rake I thought were really powerful, and it's something that's not often talked about, and I thought it was good. Made me cry a little bit. But yeah, this is really good. Netflix has something special here with this franchise. And while it's crazy, Extraction 2 won't really play in theaters. It was like on a handful of screens for like a week, basically to qualifying, because Netflix owns some screens, so what else are they going to do with them? But the first Extraction is still one of Netflix's most watched movies of all time in the first 28 days, with J-Lo's version of Extraction now right behind it. Will Extraction 2 join them or surpass them? I suspect it will at least join them. I mean, it's so incredible. You never know these days what's going to connect. But this is really good. Wow. And just as Netflix does a fantastic job with dubbing to reach a global audience, this is very much constructed to appeal to a global audience. From wall-to-wall action to minimal dialogue. I mean, there's definitely dialogue, but there's long swaths without it, which is great for a global play. And the international locations and cast. What a ride! Extraction 2 hits Netflix this Friday, and again, watch it so we can get Extraction 3. That's my review, and share your own thoughts down below. Subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.